For once in my life, I have someone who needs me, someone I've needed so long. For once unafraid, I can go where life leads.
Hello, and welcome to the For Once in Your Life Challenge. Here we are on day 3, right in the middle. We're happy that you can join us. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. If you've been with us day 1 or day 2, well, welcome back. My name is Lourdes de la Mata Little. I'm the Vice President of Marketing and Development for Goodwill. I've been here for about 20 years, and I've also had the pleasure of serving as the Executive Director of the film that we are going to see together on Friday, September 18th, For Once in My Life film, and it'll be at 7 p.m. and we'll talk more about that. We are here at Goodwill South Florida in Miami, and more specifically, we are in the band room for a band called the Spirit of Goodwill Band, and we're going to talk a little bit more about them as we go on. You'll see that I'm surrounded in plexi, and that is because we are taking our safety precautions due to COVID, and so we're trying to handle it as best we can while putting on this message for you and keeping everybody safe. I'd like to thank our sponsors, who without them, it would be very difficult to do what we do every day. They are our friends, we rely on them, and we really thank them for always stepping up when we need them. So having said that, I want to talk a little bit more about the band, as I mentioned. The band is a unique group of musicians who have come together to teach the world what they can do when given a chance. So it is something that we wanted to give you a little sneak peek about what it's like for them, the challenges that they face, and tell you a little bit about what energizes them and what kind of keeps them going. And so this is the room which they practice in. So the mission of Goodwill on the bigger picture is to train and employ people with disabilities and to give them an opportunity, teach them work skills, make them feel confident in themselves. But more importantly, it's about hope, it's about optimism, it's about giving people a chance and making them feel that they belong, that they're a part of the family. And that's what Goodwill is to the many people that we serve. So next we have, I want to introduce Javier Pena. Javier Pena served as our musical director for 15 years, and he was able to take a group of people from a choir to a musical group to a full performing band. We actually did the film while with Javier. We now have another director who's been here for 8 years. His name is Orlando Zualaga, and we will be talking with him tomorrow. Javier has moved on, and he is now a certified coach. And I'd like to introduce Javier to share with us some of the lessons that he's learned while on his journey with here at Goodwill. Good afternoon, Javier. How are you?
Good afternoon, Lourdes. Great connecting with you and Goodwill. So thank you for having me.
How does it feel, day 3? Are we going to get the kinks out of the system this time?
Yes, I hope so. Yeah, and then thank you for people to be patient with us. And a friend of mine called me last night actually and said, I told him he's been following us and in the lives and watching being part of the challenge. And I told him, oh, I'm sorry about the technical issues that we've been having. And he said, don't worry about that. The most important thing is the message.
Right.
A clear message is that there is no perfection in any of us. And actually, Goodwill is not about perfection, as you can see, and we're talking about. So that was beautiful to hear that despite of the imperfections, of the technical imperfections that we have, the message is beautiful, and that's the way it should be.
That's true. And we're experiencing and learning a lot as we go. And there are many beautiful exchanges that happen actually behind the scenes, particularly with our participants. I've been getting a lot of posts, comments, emails, and by the way, I thank everybody for doing that. That really kind of helps us gauge how we're doing and that we're really delivering what we hope to do. And if there's room for improvement, then we'd love to hear that too. But one of the things that we're hearing is that people just love to hear your stories about Goodwill and about your experience with them, and they love when they see our participants because it's just as real TV as it gets. And so I think that's one of the beauties that we're trying to keep it, as organic and as genuine as possible. So I think with that, take it away.
Yeah, thank you. And so thank you again for having me, and it's a pleasure after 8 years being away from Goodwill. I miss being there, and this week has been really beautiful to connect again with Melissa, Godwin, and the special guest that we have today, and see the band room that I spent 15 years, and now seeing that the band continues to make music. That's one of the questions that people ask me. Is the band still playing? And I say, of course it is. They're still making music. They are in great hands. We have a great director now that has taken the lead and has been serving for faithfully for 8 years, Orlando. So you're gonna be able to meet him tomorrow, and it's wonderful to know that the mission continues, and there is a higher purpose for all of us. So I want to talk today, as we have been discussing in the last, since day one, I've been using the framework of the band, the Spirit of Goodwill band, or any orchestra, but specifically from the band as illustration, because that sometimes these concepts are in general are universal and are really basic for many people to rise and redefine your purpose. But sometimes you have to just, put like a little set of glasses in front of you to see things in a different way. That's how we learn. So, as you know, we have been using the framework of the orchestra. On day one, we talk about how to connect with the audience. On day two, we talk about the stage, which was yesterday, how we conquer the fear, the stage fright to go on the stage. And today, we want to talk about what I consider is the heart of any band. So, guys, just take a moment to think, what is the heart of any band? What is the heart of any performance? And the heart of that, I guess I would say, are the songs. The songs represent the heart, the emotion, really the message that communicates the musicians and connects the musicians with the audience. During the 15 years that I work at Goodwill, and we recorded 3 CDs with the band, three. And I was calculating, and it was about, I don't remember because I don't have a copy of the first CD. That was a very early in the years, but it was about over 30, almost 40 songs that we recorded during the space in different times. And then during those songs really represented the heart of the musicians at Goodwill, represented their voice, that some of them could not speak verbally, but those songs represented their voices in a really powerful way. So when you talk about the songs, as I said, it is the heart of any band, is what comprises the heart of any musician. And then as songs, basically you have like lyrics and sounds, and then you also, in these two things, you actually try to reflect thoughts and feelings. So the songs reflect that. And when you're using that as an analogy and you think about your songs, you can say that your songs represent the dreams, because musicians, that's what they dream, to connect with people. And every dream needs to have these two components. It needs to have lyrics, although some songs don't have lyrics, we understand that, but for the most part, they need to have a clear message, and they need to carry a specific emotion. So that's what the songs are, which is the heart of any musician. So as you know, we've been using as well the framework of the song For Once in My Life, so you can hear it and refresh when you hear the song again. And one of the beautiful phrases that says here is, "For once I can touch what my heart used to dream of long before I knew someone more warm like you will make my dream come true." So if we're talking about that, the dreams are the songs of a band, and in our lives, really, the dreams are what we have in each one of us. So today, really, we're talking about how to dream your melody. In other words, how you can dream in a musical way. Any dream, and obviously we're talking in as a metaphor, how you can dream your dreams in the same way that a musician dreams about a song. So there are 3 basic steps that I wanted to share with you. But before that, I wanted to share a personal story. When I came at Goodwill for the first time, I was I was a trained musician, and for years after I left the conservatory, I have this dream to conduct a large band. I try to work that out with people. I try to bring musicians together, and we started, and it just never worked out. For some reason, people were busy, didn't want to commit to be part of the band. So I had this dream for many, many years. One day, I want to conduct this large band. I want to have a brass section, a choir section, a keyboard section, and all that. So that dream kind of was buried because it never worked out. So what happened is when I started to work at Goodwill, when I got the privilege of being there, and I was hired as a choir director because that's all they had at the beginning, I started to see something. I started to see that each one of the band members have tremendous passion for music. They didn't have any musical experience per se, but they loved music, and that was again the element that connected the both of us. So suddenly one day I was talking to my wife and I said, I wish, I mean, I don't know if it would be possible to create a band with and teach instruments to the people at Goodwill. They don't have any experience. And she said, yeah, I think that's a great idea. And that encouragement gave me the strength to actually go back and present the idea to create the band. So in that way, we started to, thanks to the support of Google, starting to gather instruments donated that we have at the stores, and we started to put it all together. So we were really happy when people were donating instruments because those were the instruments that we had at the beginning. So in that sense, my dream was something that was buried, but actually rose in a different way that was never expected because I wanted to create this band, yet I thought it was going to be having musicians already trained, but having this opportunity with the participants at Goodwill was a new way to see this dream that actually say, well, we're going to train them and we're going to create this band. And at the same time, they have the dream to become musicians. Like Melissa, she had a dream to wanted to play the congas, or Godwin, he wanted to play the piano. So all these dreams combined, and it was really beautiful to see that come to fruition. So the first step that I want to share with you, the lesson that I learned is the dreams that you have buried, there is an opportunity to reignite. And reignite your dreams is very important because dreams are really the fuel that gives gasoline, that gives the fuel to the soul to continue. You want to have a dream. If you are not dreaming, you're not going to be able to live. And many of us, we had a lot of great dreams and we were younger, but now in our careers, in middle age or perhaps younger years, we kind of settle down and we forget about dreaming. And everything that happens in our lives is because of dream. So reigniting your dreams is an important step, whatever that is. The second step lesson that I learned when I was reigniting my dream to connect and create a band, and it's the second step that I want to share with you today, is very simple. Look at what you have in your hand. The majority of us don't realize what we have right in front of us. We have desires, we have dreams, we have goals we want to actually achieve, but we're always thinking about, oh, I don't have the resources right now. And then we think about how is gonna this dream is gonna come to fruition without thinking what we have right in front of us. What I had right in front of me was a group of people who were very passionate about music. They were really loving music even more than many of the musicians that I worked with before. They love music so much and they have patience. They were listening. I was able to train them and they were patient with me because actually they were the ones who told me how to teach them. So we have sometimes to actually see what we have right in our hands. So think about what you have right in front of you. It may not be in the same package that you thought about because dreams show up, but the how to is something that you have to figure out along the way. And the third step that I wanted to share with you is something that I learned while working with the band is that you have to connect with others to make your dreams come true. It's really impossible to realize your dreams by yourself. You have to connect with other people to make that happen. You have to connect with your dreams, with the dreams of other people. And like I mentioned at the beginning, I had a dream to create a large band. Harry, Juan, Gawain, Melissa, they had a dream to become musicians. Goodwill had a dream to give them an opportunity to express their voices. Their counselors. I remember the first time we had a concert. It was at a talent show in Miami with the band. I remember looking backstage and seeing some of the counselors, like Sylvia, who's still working at Google, and they were sharing tears of joy. They were so excited to see each one of the band members playing on stage with their voice that the song gave it to them. So we cannot realize or achieve our dreams unless we connect with other people too. So they have other dreams and the dreams, and that creates a wonderful energy to move forward and continue achieving and arising what you want to achieve what you want to achieve. And I want to close with a story that about connection and how important is the connection, and how it's that vital to achieve your dreams. And when Hari, there is a young man that you probably, if you have seen the film, if not, you're gonna watch it this coming Friday. There's a story of Hari and Juan, and Hari is the younger brother of the two. He had a dream to become a trombone player. There's a very famous trombone player, a Latin trombone player called Willie Colon, and Hari is a big fan of Willie Colon, so he plays the trombone. So Hari wanted to play the trombone. When Hari came to audition for the band, he passed the audition, and he started to learn the instrument. I asked him what instrument he wanted to play, and he said, of course I wanted to play the trombone. So he started to practice, he started to learn the basics, the scales and all that. So after 6 months, I asked Hari, I think you are ready. I have great news for you. I think you're ready. I've seen you're persistent, you really love music, you're practicing, you're very disciplined. You are ready to play with the band your first song. And when he heard that, he literally jumped up and down. He was so excited. He was so happy. So I said, okay, very good. So here's your first song. So I gave him the arrangement of the song with the chart. And he already knew how to read music, and he already knew how to play. But when I gave him the song, the charts, his excitement quickly turned into a big disappointment, because he realized he was only going to play during certain sections of the song, like the trombone is supposed to be playing. Hari wanted to play during the entire song, from the beginning to the end. And I told him, Hari, only the trombone plays in certain sections because that's the arrangement and that's how it's supposed to be. And he got really frustrated at the beginning because he thought, I'm not really being valuable. I'm only playing in a few portions of the song. And then I have to explain to him three important steps that happen in every musical performance. And is that when a musician is playing in an orchestra, has a very different experience to a musician playing by himself, like in a corner or by himself. So what happens is when you're playing in an orchestra, there are three important musical moments. The first one is the solo moments, which is the portions of the song when a particular instrument plays by itself and you clearly hear the instrument over the rest of the other instruments. For instance, if you like rock music, you will know that the guitar, the electric guitar, is normally the instruments that does the solos. But something important about the solo is that they're supposed to be short. They're supposed to be brief, not long. So imagine a guitar solo for 5 or 10 minutes. It will be unbearable to actually hear for the performer and for the audience as well. The second moment is the musicians spend most of the time, the musicians at the band, is the support moments, which is the moments when if you're not musically trained, it's very hard to distinguish the difference from one instrument from the other. And then, but that's where they spend most of the time. And that's where the time that actually Hari was playing in the support moments. And the third musical moment that is part of the any orchestra, and specifically the Spirit of Goodwill Band, is the resting moment. Now, the resting moment is the moment when you have to put down your instrument and you don't play. There is just a signal on the music chart that says just don't play, just rest. And these were the moments that Harry struggled the most because he valued his contribution to the band not on the amount of the, they actually value that on the amount of the notes, not on the quality of the notes. And over time, when we started to talk to him, he understood these three concepts. And actually, he valued and said that, okay, I am still valuable, even though I don't have to play during the entire song. And to me, it was a big life lesson because in life, we also have these three moments. We have the solo moments, we have the support moments that we actually spend most of the time, and we also have our resting moments, which most of us struggle with. And because we live in this busy society, and we don't take time to know that within the orchestra, we need to take time to rest and take time to let other people shine and let other people contribute with their sound, and still we're still part of the orchestra, we're still valuable. And that's the lesson that Harry learned. And after that, he started to have so much fun playing the trombone. He listened to the other musicians, he tapped, he danced with his trombone, and when his part came, he was ready to show that he was making a great contribution to the band. So as we close with this, I want to you reflect on how your dreams can actually be achieved when you dream your melody like you compose a song, like you sing a song, to reflect your thoughts, your feelings, to connect with your audience, to rise and redefine your purpose.
That's wonderful, Javier. Really, really inspirational. And I know that the on day one, if you missed it, we talked about identifying your needs, the top three, so that you can kind of figure out how to get those needs met. On day two, we talked about your fears, identifying your fears, knowing that it is a normal part of our day every day, but making sure that our fears don't drive us, but that we keep them in check, but that we continue to move forward. And then today, of course, is about your dreams, which is a beautiful journey. And so it's great to hear your stories about how you taught them, and it seems like they also taught you.
Yes.
So that's all really great. Um, is there anything else that you might have learned regarding dreams and some of the band members, and just kind of like how you learned from them?
Yes, during the period of 15 years that we worked together, again, as we recorded over 30 songs, I would say close to 40 songs. And every time I would present a new song, I will check to see if they actually liked it. Obviously, it was not a democracy. As a director, I kind of chose the song that I thought it was better for everyone. But for the most part, they enjoyed that, and there was an important connection. They wanted to improve. They wanted to get better. They wanted to tell the world with their voices, perhaps not their verbal voices, but kicking the drums or blowing the horns or playing the keyboard. They had a voice, and that voice was the voice that people heard, and that dream was channeled through that instrument and came to their ears of people. And to me, it's still a wonderful lessons that I try to apply in my life every single day.
That's great. That's great. Another thing is when we this movie premiered 10 years ago, we had a lot of questions and a lot of testimonials and a lot of really warm personal stories that told us about their people's reaction to the band and to the film. And we're spending this much time, with you, Javier, having you teach us kind of like some of your lessons, because the biggest interest was exactly that. Things that we're covering today is how did you do it? How did you come up with, in a room of 25 individuals with a variety of disabilities, who sometimes lead isolated lives and who don't have a lot of social development? How do you teach them? How do you break it into smaller parts so that they come together and play beautiful music where the disabilities kind of fall to the side? And so that's really why we're spending the time we're spending and having you help us with those lessons, because I know there's a lot of interest in how you got it done, and I know that it was with a lot of patience and a lot of compassion, and it wasn't always easy. I know, and I know that sometimes there was a lot of tough love. And so, how did you deal with some of the when things didn't always go the way that you expected them to go on a regular day at practice?
Well, I think that one of the ingredients to overcome fear, and fear comes in different ways. We talked about that yesterday. And as every time we perform, when we had fear of, I said, well, I want to make sure this song sounds great and sounds good. And especially when we went to the film, and when we actually had in the film, we went to the biggest, most important venue in Miami. I was really nervous about that. But it's the love that conquers all fears. When you don't have love or enough love, is when fear overpowers you. And love actually melts the fear. And so the love for music and love for them and love for doing what you want to do is essential in everything that we do. And we're actually going to talk more about that in details tomorrow. But really, I learn from them more than they learn from me. They learn to play an instrument, not only from me, but from the people like Omar and all people, Lisa, who actually were part of this project as well. And now they're learning from Orlando, musically speaking. And then, but it's more the life lessons that I took away. I got the better part of the deal. And what we're doing during this week is actually helping decode that and break that down so people can understand and see in the same way that happened to them, it could happen to any dream, any project that you have in your life.
Right. And as you said, it was important for you, it was important for the band members, and it was incredibly important for Goodwill. The band, for many people, before the days of COVID, we always have tours and guests that join us to watch them rehearse, and they love to do that because other than rehearsing and practicing, they love to get the energy from guests, from visitors when they come, and we have not been able to do that. So it's a beautiful way that Goodwill showcases what we do every day, the significant work we do every day of teaching people with disabilities about routines and about showing up for work and doing what you're responsible to do. A lot of those lessons translate into the band. And when they all come together, I think that is what makes the music come alive. So with that, I also, want to acknowledge your incredible patience because I know it takes a lot of compassion and patience and, a gentle man who can really pull this together again, along with all of our counselors and the whole team of people at Goodwill who helped make it happen. So thank you so much for that.
Well, thank you for having me. And again, as you mentioned, it's a team effort. And I did remember as I was talking, I was not thinking about mentioning that, but I do remember, as I said, the first time we had our first performance and all the people who worked so much together to to help the band to raise let the band members be musicians and be respected as musicians because music gives a voice to people that otherwise is hard to hear. And now people are listening because they have a voice, and that's what Goodwill does with their work, with giving and training and employing people, because it's not just about the stores. The stores is just the lobby, if you can mention like a building. It's just the lobby, it's just the entrance. But beyond that, it's like a whole world of giving people dignity, giving people a sense of purpose, to work, to earn their wages, to learn a skill, and on top of that, make music. That's really a gift to them and to the world.
Great. Thank you so much for that important lesson.
Thank you.
I am happy to say that Hadi and Juan are our special guests today, and they'll be joining us in a few minutes. I wanted to share a little bit more about Goodwill's background. When you're talking about dreaming your melody, Goodwill started in 1902 with somebody who had very big dreams for people with disabilities, and his name is Dr. Edgar Helms. Dr. Helms had a church that he ran in Boston, Massachusetts. And a lot of the time, a lot of people emigrated from Europe and came to his congregation looking for help and a place to live. And he decided that he needs to do something to help all of these people. And so what he started to see is that people started to sit back a little bit and not really do for themselves. And he wasn't liking what that was doing. So he had a really good idea, and he went door to door in Boston with a burlap bag, and he decided that he was going to not just knock at people's doors and say, do you have things that are broken? Do you have things that don't work? Do you have things you don't need, that you don't want? And people said, well, yes, of course. He loaded up his burlap bag with all of the things. And when he came back to his congregation, people were thinking, oh, great, what did you bring us? And so he decided, no, this isn't the way it's supposed to do. I'm not going to be giving you things. You have to work and you have to earn things, which of course they said, but we don't have a job. So he decided to set up a storefront in his congregation, and he gave people jobs. He looked at what their skills were. He looked at what their talents were, and he decided to put them in the store. And they started to mend shoes and mend clothes and fix, knickknacks and things for the home. And so he gave them jobs and he paid them. With the money that they earned, they were then able to buy the things that they really needed from all of the items that he collected. And that was how the idea of Goodwill and our thrift stores came to be over almost 120 years now. So it's very much like it is right now. People donate to Goodwill. We sell the donations, and we use that money to help pay for the programs for people with disabilities. And so that was really his dream, and because of his dream and really pursuing it, we were able to have the global entity that Goodwill Industries is today. So he followed his dream, and in the business world, in the corporate world, we sometimes change the world dreams with goals, and that's the saying: set out a goal. Set out what it takes to get there, and little by little, again, identify the needs, get over the fear, and start taking the steps to that journey. So that's how the application of today's lesson applies to Goodwill. Goodwill is an organization now, and I bring you to today that in Miami-Dade County and Broward, there's 457,000 people that have disabilities, and 80% of them do not have work. They do not have jobs. 95% of them live below the poverty level. And we are one of the largest employers in Miami, the 17th largest employer. We provide services to, we have 3,000 people, just a little under 3,000 now due to COVID. And we provide services to 7,000 people a year. And 95% of all of the monies that we generate goes back to fulfilling our mission. Many times people, as we come to the season of giving and holidays, many times people, they want to give, they want to help, they want to create more meaning in their life, knowing that by donating to Goodwill, we can help others. And many times they don't know where to start. A rule of thumb on some of the organizations that you select to give is any organization that has 65% or more into the programs is an organization that is really doing good and doing their mission. And I am very proud to say that Goodwill Industries of South Florida puts 95% of all the money that we generate right back into the programs, and we do that with the different divisions that we talked about yesterday: our stores, our apparel manufacturing, our custodial, our laundry. So all of those generate revenue for us that help us pay for the programs, in addition to all the donations that we get from you, both with stuff and in terms of financials. So that is kind of how the Goodwill works, and just a little background there. And now we're going to go to the section that everyone seems to love, as do I. And we're going to introduce our guest today, which is two brothers, Juan and Hari Ulgarin. They are two brothers for Colombia, and I'm going to leave you with a video clip of the film.
Most people think that Hari and Juan are twins because they look so much alike, but Juan is the older brother and Hari is the youngest one. They are only 2 years apart from each other.
Okay, welcome to my house. All the three guys. This is a beautiful house. I got this my tundra truck. That's my scooter. I got a nice room. Then I got a toys. I got a PlayStation 3, a PlayStation 2. I got VCR. I got the movies. We watching movies every Fridays. I got two dogs. I got two cats. I got two cats and two dogs.
Porque a Juan David no se le notaba absolutamente nada. Y fuimos, cuando Juárez iban a nacer, fuimos con el mismo médico, 3 años después, y pasó lo igual. El médico lo demoró mucho en el vientre de la madre, casi los deja sin cerebro. Cuando Juan David y Harry nacieron morados, morados, por la hiperactividad sobre todo de Juan David, porque Juan David era el mayor. Era muy hiperactivo y se demoró mucho para hablar.
That's my mom. She's beautiful. She done in 1993 and here in Miami. I miss her.
He went to hospital the day my dad said, how do you come here? Well, yeah, Dad, your mommy died. Oh my God. I feel sad. A baby crying, Lala crying.
Ella sí, pues se iba a hacer una histerectomía. Como te digo, entró caminando al hospital y salió en una caja. Y pues no veía yo como futuro. Yo pensé que, dije yo, ¿qué voy a hacer con estos muchachos?
This one is my team Colombia, Medellín, Colombia. This one for my hat is a music Colombia.
En parte sí, mucha frustración porque la muerte de la mamá. Y enseguida venir el hermano a tratar de dominarlo, a manejarlo. Era difícil.
This one, you gonna play this one. So all my chisme frase, ¿sí?
El que primero entró a tocar fue Harry. Pero Juan David no quería, pero era como un conflicto con Harry. Porque como él siempre se creyó superior a Harry, y al verlo a él tocando allá, él no quería como darle esa oportunidad a Harry de pensar que él era igual. Y lo tuvimos que convencer bastante, hablarle, hasta que al fin se decidió, y entonces eso más todavía fue la felicidad de nosotros verlos a los dos. Estos muchachos han colaborado bastante en su mantenimiento. Se ve bonito por la colaboración. El cambio ha sido total. Pues con la música a ellos les ha servido, es como una terapia. Ha sido como una terapia para ellos y para uno mismo, para nosotros mismos, porque eso los ha tranquilizado mucho. Nos ha traído una tranquilidad a la casa completa, más hermandad, más amistad, mejor comportamiento, mejor todo.
So here we are. We have Harry Pulgarin, and then we have Juan Pulgarin. Behind them we have Sonia Melendez, who is their counselor, who makes sure that they stay on the straight and narrow, right, you guys?
Yes.
How did you feel watching that clip? Made you a little sad, right?
Yeah, la feel.
Left you sad, yeah, because you miss your mom.
Yeah, I miss my mom all the time.
Every day you think of her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's hard. It's hard to see. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you for sharing that, because I know it's not always easy. But on the good side, I see that you're a big fan of sports, right? Yeah. Okay, so why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Why don't we start with Harry? How long have you been at Goodwill?
I started in 1997.
1997.
Yes.
Okay, and you, Juan?
94.
1994. Okay, so he's been here a little bit longer. Who's older? You're older. By how many years? 2?
I work 25 years.
You've been here for 25 years. Okay. And how old are you?
47.
27?
47.
I was going to say, I don't know about 27. Okay, 47. Okay, and so you're 45.
45.
45. Okay, so tell me how you decided that you were going to play the trombone. Your favorite, Javier mentioned earlier, your favorite...
Any kind of music was my life. Oye como va, told me, teaching me, Oye como va was my life.
Is that your favorite song, Oye Como Va?
Oh yeah, that's my favorite
That's
song.
your favorite song?
Yeah.
And what's your favorite song?
Jungle Book.
Which one?
Jungle Book.
The Jungle Book. Okay, both of those are really nice.
That's my favorite song. The Oye como va was my life.
You like that?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. And was it hard to learn how to play the trombone?
No, that's easy.
Easy?
Yes.
Yeah? And do you like to practice?
Oh yeah, every day.
Every day? Is that your favorite part of the day?
Yep. Every day is gonna practice. you make it right, make it wrong. Make it
Practice and practice and practice.
every day, every day.
Yeah. And so, how does Orlando treat you? He makes you practice and practice.
Yes.
Yeah. Orlando's cool. We like
Oh, yes.
Orlando.
Yeah,
Orlando.
I like it. It's
Yeah.
cool.
His name Asi. Asi, you know Asi?
No, I don't know Aussie.
Asi, he played trop. He from Colombia.
Oh, another band member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Oh.
teacher. He
His
played good.
teacher.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy, man.
He's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
And do you guys behave? Do you play by the rules?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
You have to behave good.
You can behave big good. You have a big good. You don't play right. You got out of here.
You're out of here. If you don't play right, you're out of here. Well, I'm
Exactly.
going to ask that question to Sonia, your counselor, and she'll let us know if you play by the rules, right?
Yeah.
Will she say yes, you do? Yeah, you're laughing. I know you're laughing. I don't know. I don't know about that. Yeah, I know you're laughing. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your job at Goodwill. Not in the band, your job at Goodwill. What do you do? What do you do, Heidi?
The machine.
Yeah, tell us what you do. What do you sew?
I work for the cartel. Captura.
You work for
the army. Yeah.
for the fence. So you're in our sewing division in apparel manufacturing, and you help sew the pants.
Yeah.
Do you like your job?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Every day. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about you, Juan? What do you do?
Me, I put the labels, the pants.
Oh, you put the labels
The
on.
label, yes.
Okay. And you like your job?
Oh, yes. I like
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a quick question. Tell me what you think about. I'm going to ask Heidi first. Tell me about Goodwill. How has Goodwill helped you?
For the machine.
No, Goodwill, like the people, being here every day. You like coming to Goodwill?
Yes, I want to. Yeah, I like good women.
You do?
Every day.
It's helped you be better.
Yeah,
It's
better.
helped teach you some skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what about you, Juan?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
For the help people, yes.
It helps people, and it has helped you.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody.
Everybody. Okay.
Everybody help people.
That's great. So now I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. I'm going to talk to Sonia Melendez, and I'm going to ask her what she thinks about the two of you, right?
Yep.
That's
Okay.
right.
So here we have Sonia Melendez. She has been a counselor, right, at Goodwill. Tell us how long you've been here, Sonia.
32 years.
How many?
32.
32 years. Wow, that's a long time. Okay. And so how long have you worked with Heidi and Juan?
Since they started.
Since they started, so a
they
long
first
time.
came for the evaluation department. Then they went to work adjustment training. It's a training that I was managing.
Uh-huh.
And then for the WAC. And from there, they went to manufacturing.
They went to
And
manufacturing.
then from there to the band. So they were moving quickly because they're very anxious. They like to do things. They're very social. That's where the
for
problem
sure.
comes.
That's
They're
where,
too social.
yeah,
And they love everybody. They want to hug everybody.
yeah. And I
That's
think
right.
and I think that they like to be in front of the camera too.
Oh, yes.
Right. That's right.
That's
I
what
like
they like
it.
to
Love
do. They
to
like
do
to be
that.
in front of the
I
camera.
love Sonia.
There's something beautiful about Harry.
Uh-huh.
Harry comes every day to my office in the morning
Oh.
to say good morning. And he always wants to pray for me.
Oh, that's so nice, Heidi.
Yeah, I love Sonia.
You like Sonia?
Oh,
You
yeah,
pray
me
for
too.
her.
I like
Sonia.
Sonia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
And they pray for me.
That's beautiful. And tell us, Sonia, what's your you've been here for a long time, so what's your favorite part of the job?
Working with them.
Working with them. Not the paperwork, not everything that we have to be when we're
I
getting
have to do
audited.
it, but
You have
it's
to
being
do
with
it.
them. That's what keeps me. And that's the reason why I haven't retired yet.
So you like to see the progress.
Yes.
And we thank you for doing that, because we know
Thank
that
you.
you're very valued here. We value you, and we know that very many people love you, and you're a very big part of our secret recipe of the success of this place and the success of Heidi and Juan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you, Lotte.
Sonia made a very important point that I want to say is that when people come to us at Goodwill, we want to make sure that they are challenged and that they are learning skills. We really want to make sure that there's upward mobility. And so as you heard Sonia say, when they came here quite a number of years ago, they started at one probably very basic and elementary level. And as they've gained confidence and skills, they have been able to graduate to more important jobs, not more important jobs, but more complicated jobs. And so right now they are a member of our sewing manufacturing. So our goal is to make sure that everyone reaches their full potential. And so when we see that they start mastering a skill, we graduate them to more complex operations. And I think Juan and Harry are perfect examples of the work that Goodwill does. In addition, there are our trombone players that help keep the music playing at Goodwill. So thank you so much, Sonia. Thank you, Hadi. Thank you, Juan. Thank you, Charlie, his counselor, and Lourdes, and all the team that that wants to say anything. But before I go, I want to bring in somebody that is very familiar to you, that you might have remember him from your past. Yes. Let's see if you recognize who this is. Do you recognize him?
Javier.
I
miss you.
I miss you so much.
I miss everyone, Javier.
I miss you so much, guys, as well.
Miss you.
You guys look great. My God.
Thank you, Javier.
Thank you so much.
You look younger than when I left. So that's wonderful. What are you guys eating?
Fruit.
Fruits?
Apple.
Yeah. No bandeja. Nothing. Food.
Exercise every day.
Exercise. Oh my gosh, that's how you look that great. So hey Hadi, how is the trombone doing? You're still. I see that you're practicing. So tell me about it. Tell me about the trombone. Any new songs that you have learned from Orlando?
Oh yeah, that's beautiful song. That's definitely song.
Which one is your favorite that you have learned with Orlando? What's the favorite song that you have done?
Oh, any kind of all song, any kind.
Which one?
Any kind.
What is any kind?
Yeah.
Any kind.
Kind of song. So you like any?
All song, yes.
Okay, but which one is your favorite? The one that you're playing now?
My song is Orlando. He chased me I forgot the new song.
Any new song? That's great. That's great, man. You're great. You're great. I miss you so much, guys. But you're in great hands.
Kiss me.
Kiss me.
Kiss me. Oh,
This is me.
You heard the song, Javier?
Oh, yes. I think I heard that.
That's my favorite song.
It's your favorite song? Oh, that's wonderful, man. That's great.
You heard the song, Javier?
Yes, I love it. How about you, Juan? What's your favorite song that you're playing now?
James Bond.
The James Bond?
Oh,
the Mission Impossible, perhaps, or?
I want to song this movement, but good man.
Yeah.
How does it go, Juan? How does it go? Can you kind of tell me how is the sound?
James Bond.
Uh-huh.
That's James Bond.
That's beautiful, man. That's great. I can't wait to hear you guys playing, and then.
Declare James Bond. This is me.
This is me. All of it. All the kind of songs.
That's my favorite song.
So Javier, you can see they haven't lost their love for the camera and being center stage, right? They love that, and we love that about them.
Of course.
Somebody buy my new trombone, Javier.
You got a new trombone?
Oh yeah, there's the black one. So who buy the trombone? Orlando.
Oh,
he's a beautiful trombone.
It's
big. It's big.
Big trombone.
Grande, man.
Yeah.
So, okay, I think that we love to sit here and talk all day, but we do have to move on. But thank you so much. Obviously, we're a little bit over today because our guests are able to share some stories, and we love that. And so we're okay running a little bit long.
Well, let me say bye. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, Javier. I miss you.
I miss you too. I miss
you.
Say hi to your parents, or to your mom and dad, okay?
Thank you.
To Astrid. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up right there. I do want to remind you to do your homework, and so tomorrow we're gonna have also a guest. We're gonna be speaking with Orlando, which you've heard a lot about. That's gonna tell us kind of like his perspective as a band leader now. And again, we thank you so much for joining us. I know that many of you are watching this as replays on the videos, and that's okay as long as you take the information in. We're going to be emailing you with the video replays, and we do ask that you please watch them because I think it's going to add purpose and meaning. And when you kind of see how things take shape in the world of a nonprofit, particularly Goodwill South Florida, you can kind of appreciate everything that happens. Nonprofits tend to be that go between our community and the people who need the help. Nonprofits are the ones that help make that happen. And so your support of nonprofits and of Goodwill South Florida will always go a very long way. And that's how you can leave your mark, leave your meaning, and create more purpose in your life.
Well, well. Now I'm the king of swingers, oh, the jungle VIP. I reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me. I want to be a man cub and stroll right into town and be just like the other men. I'm tired of mucking around. You know, who you do? I want to be like you, yeah. I want to walk like you, talk like you. Shooby-dooby-doo-ba-doo. Oh yes, it's true, yeah. I got a name like me, yeah. I can't learn to be human too. Play that trumpet now. Christian, play that piano.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tony White.